All right, happy Saturday, March 30th, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us here for how to land a data analytics job. We're doing this as a workshop today, and we're glad that you can make it. As you all know, data analytics is one of the hottest and growing fields as it has been in alignment with the growth of artificial intelligence over the last couple of years. Behind artificial intelligence is AI, and behind artificial intelligence are data analysts who are combing through data, making sure it looks good, among many other things. And so, as a result of that, the data analytics career has grown significantly. And we're here today to present a presentation by Omni Mornir, who's the founder of Dataford.io. He works himself as a data analyst in a Fortune 500 company and has many years of experience in this field, and he's here to share some of the secrets that he's learned with you. Without further ado, I'll have Omni take over in a moment. In the meantime, this webinar is being recorded and you will get a follow-up in a couple of days. All right, Omni, over to you.
Thanks, Albert. Hi, everyone. So my name is Amni. I'm the founder of Dataford. I created Dataford around almost a year ago. On my full-time part, I'm a product analyst at Meta, and I used to be lead data analyst at Poshmark. So that's about my background. The main reason I built Dataford is to help people break into data analytics. I know many of you want to land a job in data, and you might be struggling either through your resume or either through your interview process. So I'm here to help, and Dataford was built for this reason. So just a little bit of context how the platform works. So we have over 100 plus Real SQL interview questions from companies like Airbnb, Yelp, Spotify, you name it. So we actually gather a lot of technical interview questions from different sources to help you prepare for your next interview. We also have courses. If you're not familiar with SQL or SQL, we help you become expert through very hands-on courses that have not only the content but also practice. So I really believe in practice. That's how I've learned over the years, and I think that's in my opinion, the best way to become an expert. We recently launched two new features, which is the video review. That basically you just need to upload your resume, and we have a team of experts that help you refine it and give you a video feedback of your resume with action or recommendation. The last pretty cool feature that's not in the slide here, we just launched last week one-on-one tutoring sessions. So if you're preparing for your next data analytics interview, you will be matched with the mentor, with the Dataford mentor that's going to go over a real SQL interview question or a real technical interview question, and then give you feedback at the end. So you'll feel really emerge in a real interview session, so that you get ready and prepared for your real interview. So a lot of exciting features are coming up, and I'm super excited to be in this workshop today. So without further ado, let me introduce what we'll do in this workshop. If you're already familiar with data analytics job, then great, but I'm going to cover it in the first step. Basically all what you're going to go through to get a job in data analytics, from getting the first call with the recruiter to the technical round, to the offsite, and also at the end when you get the offer. Next, we're going to go over some tips to help you improve your resume. If that's the part you're struggling with, you should definitely listen up here, because I'm going to share some tips to help you not only improve your resume, but also leverage other tools to get you more interview in data analytics. Next, I'm going to go over a technical screen. I'm going to solve actually two SQL interview questions, since the session is going to last around an hour and a half. So I'm going to cover two SQL interview questions together. I'm also going to go over non-technical interview, which accounts for 50 to 60% of the interview process. And I'm going to tell you what type of interviews are going to be asked in this step of the process. Next and last but not least, is the I'm going to be sharing some coupon code if you want to join Data for Premium to access like all the features that I just mentioned. And of course, we'll leave 15 minutes at the end for any question you might have. Awesome. And by the way, I'll be sharing my LinkedIn at the end, so make sure to connect with me as well. So the interview process is 5 steps, or I like to say 4 steps. But essentially, the first step of the process is when you get a call with the recruiter. So this step is assuming that your resume has been picked by like a multitude of resumes, and this is the part where you need to be able to communicate your story, because keep in mind that recruiters do not necessarily have experience in data analytics. They are just the middleman between you and the hiring manager. The next step of the process is the technical interview. So this is where SQL is the most important skill there. So really important to have really great SQL skills. I've seen people that have done SQL on a day-to-day basis and like failing these interviews. The reason is because you need to be practicing very specific type of topics that I'm going to be sharing right now. Next step is take-home assignment. Again, this doesn't apply to all companies, so I will not pay too much attention to it, but there are companies that will ask you to do a take-home. This can take around 3 to 4 hours to do, requiring both SQL and business sense skills. Then, if you perform pretty well on this take-home assignment, I would say the on-site interview is the next step. But as I previously mentioned, many companies do not do the take-home. So if you do a really good job in your technical interview in SQL, you'll get to the last round. So the last round on-site, as we call it, is mostly non-technical questions. That's from my experience. Many companies do not ask SQL question or technical question, and the reason is because they already passed, they already got you the technical round, and they believe that your technical skills are already proven. So they want to understand whether you have a good business sense. So business sense is definitely a topic that will get you a job. Like if you master it, will definitely get you multiple offers. So I'm going to cover it briefly today. However, I have another workshop where I actually go deeper into this topic. The last step is the offer section. So assuming that you've done a really good job, you're going to be able to get an offer from the recruiter, and that's great news. Make sure to negotiate your offer. The first offer they give you is usually lowball. So we also have a one-on-one session. If you want to negotiate your offer, we can draft for you an email or like directions on what to tell the recruiter, and that will help you boost your offer by at least 10 to 20%. If there is a rejection, I think it's fine. You made it to the last round, which is already amazing. I would say ask for feedback. This is an important part of the process. Asking for feedback will help you to improve even better for future interviews. So make sure to do that. I'm actually also recommending to do that even in the technical round. If you feel something didn't go well, just make sure to ask the recruiter to give you some feedback, as well as the step 1, which is the recruiter. Maybe they can give you some nuggets there to get better for your future interviews. Awesome. Now that we went all of these steps, I want to call out like how to do well in the first interview with the recruiter. So the main objective of this call is to communicate your story. So the first question that 99% of the recruiter will ask you is, tell me about yourself. So you need to practice a 30-second pitch about yourself. And I like to break it down into 3 steps. first question you want to ask is, who are you? You can mention that you have experience in data analytics for X years, or like if you're getting out of college, you're like just graduated from this university and in data analytics or whatever. Or like if you're transitioning, you can mention that as well. What have you done could be like your key achievements that like relates to the role. It could be if you have experience in data analytics, I led 10 plus, 50 plus experimentation that helped the company increase revenue by X%. So these has to be highlights, like what are the top things that if you have to pick about your data analytics journey, you'll pick this one. For those of you that do not have experience yet, if you have any specific project where you stand out, either in your college or outside of it as like volunteering experience or would be great to mention here. Make sure that this relates to the role. Why are you excited about this role? This is the last piece, like the cherry on the top. I think you make sure to do some research about the company and mention why you're so excited about it. Next, after the recruiter will ask you to tell about your story, the next step is they want to make sure that you have your skills. They cannot actually check if you have the skills because they're not necessarily technical, but they want to hear the right keywords. One of the most important keywords in data is having knowledge in SQL, having experience working with tools like Power BI or like any visualization tool. These questions are being asked, even if you have no experience using these tools. These are pretty easy to learn, so make sure to mention them. So as I said, SQL is great to mention, Python at some extent if you have decent level of experience, and 3 would be like the BI tools you use. And for many companies that are really eager to do experimentation, make sure that you have run A/B tests as well. That will be extra points for you. All right, awesome. So it's important to mention all these keywords. This is like checkbox for the recruiter to ensure you're the right person for the role. At the end, I recommend asking 2-3 relevant questions about what matters to you. Don't ask questions to impress the recruiter. This will go next when you're going to talk with the hiring manager. Here, I would recommend to just ask a question about the size of the team, the culture of the company, stuff that like will make you like or dislike this job, because they're not only interviewing you, you're also interviewing them, because you want to make sure that you're joining a company that you like, right? So make sure to ask these 2 questions at the end that like truly matter to you. So this is the next step. Let's assume that everything went well. They're happy with your story. The recruiter went to the hiring manager, shared the resume and their notes, and they really like your background and your skills. So they move you to the next round. And the next round is going to be a technical round. It can last between 30 to 60 minutes, depending on the companies, but they are really focused on SQL or like technical skills. So they want to make sure that you can do the job as an analyst. There are 6 topics that's mostly being asked in interview, and I would highly recommend to practice on those. These are basic functions. So if you are familiar with mathematical function like summing, max, minimum, counting, these are all the basic function that you need to know in SQL. The next is ranking. Ranking is something that's being asked in a lot of interview right now. Being able to use window functions such as row number, dense rank, and rank is also very important here. Ratio basically means understanding the joins, how they actually work. So inner join, left join, all of that are definitely important here. Window function here are different from ranking function. Window function is being able to do differences in sums, and being able to look at the past value. Like if I want to see, for example, how much revenue had 7 days prior, we would use function called lag function or lead function, etc. If you're not aware with these terms yet, this is totally fine. You will be able to have access to courses around these topics, so that's going to help you out in this journey. Percentile and text analysis are being asked a little bit less, but still important to know. I'm not going to cover this today, but I think these are topics that all these 6 topics will help you master this technical round. For those of you that are in the job search right now, while you're searching, I would highly recommend to practice regularly SQL. My take here is like 2 to 3 times per week, but I think the more the better, especially if your level is not yet there. Recommend even practicing more so that you get your skills up there. Awesome. I'm going to cover the non-technical aspect of the interview a little bit after, actually after this section. So I'm going to give you some tips to improve your resume and land more interviews. Hopefully this would work. I have gotten feedback from multiple data forward users tell me that this is helping them to get interview, which is awesome. And I hope you can use these tips and tricks for your journey. So one of the most important aspect of your resume, of your journey to find a job, is to nail your resume. Make sure that this resume is outstanding. The reason for that is because you're competing with so many people out there, and you need to make sure that you're different from them, so that the recruiters or the companies that you're like applying for see more value in your resume than other people's resume. This is basically a game where you need to have the best tool to win it, right? And this tool is the resume. So I like to start any resume with a summary, because recruiters only take 1 to 2 minutes to review resume. So it has to be outstanding so that it catch their attention. That's why I like to start with the summary. It's like a TLDR, like a executive summary of what you've done. I like it to keep it to 3 lines, and make it super relevant to the role you're applying for. So if you're applying for BI analyst, which is like business intelligence analyst, you would need to show them that you built so many dashboards and you install. If you're applying for product analyst position, then you need to show them your experience in leading experiments and doing all of that. And there's a great tool for that. It's called JobScan. It's free, and you can basically upload your resume one side and the job description, and they're able to match whether you have the right keywords for it. So yeah, this great summary is basically a highlight about yourself. So if you had to summarize all your life or career in 3 lines, what would you say? So as mentioned in the sales speech that you have with your recruiter, I like to make it into 3 sections. Who are you? Your top 2 of up to top 3 greatest achievement. And then that'll be good enough. You don't need to have 1 sentence about the company. This would be too customized and probably not relevant. But make all your achievement by order of importance. So if you've done something great, make sure to mention it first, and then the things that are a little bit less relevant or like a little bit less great, just put them as 2nd or 3rd achievement. An example of it, I led over 50 experiments and improvement, resulting in significant increase in key business metric. You can even mention the metric if you feel comfortable with it. That would even increase your resume your summary. Yeah. So that's the summary. I'm going to be sharing, by the way, for all of you, the slides. I think Albert would be sending over the slides, and you'll see that it includes also a template for your resume. So you can just use this template to apply for your future jobs. All right, so we have another section called area of expertise. To be honest, this section is mainly to really help the recruiters scan if you have the required skills for the job. So make sure to mention all the keywords basically to help you get this position. So if you're applying for data roles, I think the most important ones are the one I mentioned below here. SQL, definitely one. Excel, even though it's very simple, make sure to mention it. Python, definitely important there. If you're working for product analytics position, Python is used for some stats results. So having a decent level of Python would definitely help there. And then BI tools. So as an analyst, when you pull data, you need to communicate this data to stakeholders. One of the most efficient ways is through visualizations. And these are the three most, in my opinion, used visualization tools. Looker is one, Mode is another one, and Tableau. You can also replace probably Mode by Power BI. I know that many startups use Mode because it's cheaper than other tools. So I'll just put it there. ETL is basically just building tables and productionalizing it to everyone. So it's not necessarily a skill, but like it's definitely a keyword that's being mentioned in multiple jobs. So you can mention that as well. A/B testing, definitely one of the most important ones, because when you deal with product analytics position, you'll have to do a lot of experiment testing to check if a feature is working or not. So these are like kind of the 6 keywords I have. Again, depending on your role, if it's data engineering or like software engineering or like something very different, you can change that accordingly. So this area of expertise will definitely change depending of your role you're applying for. Awesome. So now this section is basically relevant experience. So this, after the summary area of expertise, now the recruiter will start scanning through your experience. And I like to keep it very driven, action driven. So I like to use words like improve, led, drove. These are like strong verbs that are used to show that you have shown, like you have made an impact. And speaking about impact, same rule here. Order your bullet point by the most impactful achievement. So it doesn't matter if you have done this experiment only like a year ago versus another one you've had it like just 3 months ago. You have to order them by the most impactful, not by the time they happened. Last is don't be too technical. Many data scientists like to go over their model they've used and how they've been able to improve X metric. I prefer just to go with some simple terms and make them very business driven. The reason is because the recruiter is not technical. And at the end of the story, whatever you build, even if it's technical or not, you need to make sure that it's going to be used by the team and you'll be able to share it to them in a way where they actually understand what you're saying. So less technical is always better. So for those of you that do not have experience, I like to add projects, volunteering experience. If you don't have experience, you can start doing volunteering. I post on LinkedIn few like links to website to get some volunteering experience in data analytics. You can check that. I'll be sharing my LinkedIn as well at the end. So there are multiple websites that do that. You can also look volunteering data on Google. You can find a lot of websites as well. In terms of projects, the rule of thumb that what I like doing is I've seen so many projects or like out there of people just grabbing like a data set from Spotify and then starting to do some high level analysis and sharing that on their resume. I don't think this is the best approach. I think find something that you like doing. Let's say I'm a big fan of soccer, and I would go to kaggle.com, which is like a website to have that have a lot of data sets for free. And then I'll look for topics that really interest me around soccer. Like it could be anything, and then build data dashboards or like insights around this specific topic. Why is it important? Because you are building experience working on something you like doing, and you're going to be able to push yourself even further because we all like to do we all like to match our job with our uh, what we actually like doing, our hobbies, and then that will make it like a better project. And when you're going to share this project, one is going to be very different from all the people out there because everyone does this Spotify whatever data set project. You're going to be standing out because you're going to do something completely different, and perhaps recruiters would be able to see that. And I'm pretty sure that like when you have this different type of project on your resume, it makes a huge difference. And again, for all these projects, all the insights you came up with, make sure it's easy to read for non-technical people. So because they'll be the one that actually gonna share the resume to the hiring manager. Awesome. So once you have access, I'll be sharing with you my resume. This was a long time ago, but I'll be updating the slides to give you the latest one so that you see how it goes. You can just copy it and then use it for yourself. As you see here, it doesn't have the summary and the area of expertise section, but I'll be adding that after this meeting so that you have access to the most updated one. Awesome. Okay, cool. So the next thing after updating your resume is of course applying for jobs once you're ready. But then applying for a job is not always been very easy, especially at this time. You're dealing with many applicants. If I go to LinkedIn, I see on average over 100 plus applicants for each job. So it's tough. So even if you have a great resume, there are many people with a really good resume not able to land any interview. And I'm going to be sharing some tips to help you actually stand out or like do things differently than others. And this is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a great tool and to do stuff, to find jobs. And here are some cool tips that you can be using already. So I'm going to be sharing like couple of them live right now, but the goal here is one, find hidden jobs. Okay, that's one. The reason there are hidden job on LinkedIn is because adding a job listing on LinkedIn costs a lot of money. I think costs between $50 to $100 per day. So company don't necessarily have the budget to put a job listing out there. So there are companies or recruiters that just post about it instead of like having the job listing there. So the way I like to do it is maybe writing data analyst fresh in the US. Maybe this was one that has worked. What it means is like these are all the keywords that you're gonna look for in a post. So you're gonna click on post, and you're gonna find perhaps some people posting about it. You can put like past week. Maybe we can write hiring. So you can find people posting about jobs, and you can reach out to them directly. This is a very efficient way to land interviews. And I would do potentially just go to her profile, this person, and then just connect, add a note. Okay, 1 second. Add a note, and then write, hi, Intashi, I came across your post on LinkedIn. Would love to connect regarding the data analyst position. Looking forward to it. That's it. And then you just click on send and send this message, and do that across all the posts. This is definitely more targeted because these are recruiters, so you have more chances to get to their inbox and hence get your first interview. Also, they're like people that actually you can check. They're like look more like hiring managers. These are like comment interested. I don't like it necessarily. I like when it's like more real. So when I see this kind of like post, it looks pretty good. But as you see here, so many people are commenting. So just try to make sure that you look for this post at the right time. That's why I like to put the date posted past week, but you can also look at past 24 hours if you want to find something faster. So this one, they're hiring for data analyst. This is the range. So what I would do, again, go to this profile. I think she's working in the university as a director and career coach, and they're hiring for her team. So I would just reach out to her and then ask for applying. They have a link to apply. You can also use this link. There's probably less competition here, but it's always great to connect with the person and then ask for some, ask about the position so that they know who you are, and perhaps they can push your resume as well. So yeah, this is one trick that has worked pretty well for many people. There are multiple of them, of course. I'm going to share other ones. When you apply for a job, let's say we go to data analyst, I recommend to do something which is, you see, we have this position in Bloomberg Capital, over 100 applicants, tough. So what I would do, go to the people, to the company page, and then click on people. And then I'll look for people that work in data. That's always best. And then I would just try to see if there is someone that's a data person. Okay, I'm not able to find any specific data person. What I would do instead is possibly try to find someone working at the company. Maybe this person, principal at Bloomberg, VC and growth. And by the way, an interesting tip that I found is many people will send emails or like information to this people working in data, or like working in very specific jobs, but like they never send a message to the VC or like director level. That has worked pretty well because they're not getting spammed too much, and they're more than happy to refer you. And if you get that referral from the director, it's really good, right? Like it gets you places because like it's like a big figure in the company, right? So as I've done just now, I went through multiple profiles. I recommend for each job to like actually try to find 5 people, 6 people, and reach out to them. Why? Because not all of them will answer. So 5, 6 is a good in like a good number to increase your chance to have at least 1 or 2 answering back. Okay. So again, all every time I would look for a job, I would not apply directly because sometimes again you're dealing with 100 plus, so your chances are very slim to even get a resume. So yeah, this is like the way I would do it. Don't reach out to the lead recruiter because they're already getting so many messages and like, so if we take another example here, I will go to this company inside global. We go to people. They have so many members, so we can click on data or data analyst, data analytics leader, director of data analytics, and then reach out to them. Just make sure that they work in the company. So this person, data engineering manager at Insights Global, maybe worth to mention, talk to this person. Just check their profile, make sure they work there, so that you're not just like sending notes. Sending notes is actually free. I don't think you need LinkedIn Premium for this, so take advantage of it. Another cool trick is to get referrals as well, and you can write something like, this is the best keyword I found, by the way. It's called DM for referral. And what I would do, I would use this quote here. This quote means exact match. So I want to look at all the headlines of people's profile that have the DM for referral match. Okay, so I write that, and then I go for people, and then I see multiple basically people working in Fang, either TikTok or Meta, and they're more than happy to do to refer you for any position. So you can, for example, this person is an MLE at Meta, is DM for referral. So you can just reach out and then add a note, ask them for referral. This is way more efficient because they're actually literally asking you to send them your resume. So this will definitely have more impact. And you can basically change the location, play with the keywords as well. I know people write referral code because there are companies like TikTok that have referral code. So you can use that referral code when you apply for TikTok position. And this would definitely increase your chances as well. So try to apply these 3 tips that I mentioned, and then I'm really excited to see how your progress looks like. But if you follow these few tips I just mentioned, your chance to stand out are going to be significantly larger, and getting an interview, it would definitely happen if you keep doing that consistently. Cool. I really hope this was useful for all of you. I'm gonna go over the technical screen. So right now, you've been applying all these tips I just shared. Great, you're getting interviews, and you now you passed the first round, able to communicate your story pretty well. Now the technical screen happened, and this is where you need to actually make sure you performing in SQL. This is basically what percentage of time a specific topic is being asked. For those of you that just joined, we went over some SQL topics being asked in technical interviews, and basic function is one being asked 40% of the time, ranking 20%. Ranking is all this ranking function, row number, then rank, all of that. Ratio is joins, inner join, left joins. Window function is another one. It's like a lag function, lead function, and percentile and text analysis. It's a very small percentage. Honestly, I haven't encountered these questions for a while. Maybe these are like from specific companies. So if you're looking for like text company that like, let's say in Grammarly or company that use a lot of text data, you're probably going to be asked text analysis. So just make sure to check if the company is really using text for their analysis. For all the AI topics, companies, many leverage text to like ChatGPT or like general OpenAI would probably ask you text analysis question. So here are the few tips to approach any technical interview. And by the way, we're going to go over one together. But the first step of the process is to use this time to make sure you understand what they're asking. So they usually ask a simple question in SQL, want you to pull some data, but sometimes it might be confusing. So make sure to clarify. This clarification is helpful because if you're not clarifying your the task, then you can go in a wrong direction, and that could like make you lose a lot of time, and then put you in a bad spot at the end of the interview. So the second step is break it down. So I like to break the process down into multiple steps. It's like if you have to simply go to work, that's the goal. What are the steps you're going to take to go to work? So first you need to wake up, stand up, brush your teeth, do all of this, put your clothes on, shower, whatever, and then go to work. So like these are all the steps you need to take to get to your goal. It's the same for SQL, for any problem solving. You need to have multiple steps to get there, and these steps helps you to get to the goal. So whenever, before being asked any SQL interview question that seems a little bit challenging, or like break it down into multiple steps, it's gonna make it easier for the interviewer to think, to see your thought process, to understand like your thought process, and it can give you extra points as well. Communicating is important during the interview to make sure that your approach makes sense. So if you lay down steps, just ask the interviewer if these steps make sense. If that looks good, then you write the SQL. I've seen multiple people writing the code even prior to doing any of these steps, and that for some company could sound like a red flag. So this is the framework I've used and that have worked a lot. Of course, when you become super experienced in SQL and become really good at it, you can play around with these steps. They're not necessarily like 1, 2, 3. You can play around. You can communicate first, clarify specific question if you have doubts. If you are pretty confident that this is so easy, then probably no need to clarify, but it's just like my recommended approach to master your SQL interview. Awesome. Before we go over this SQL question, I just wanted to go over the type of non-technical interviews, because this is like the most questions. This is the how do you say that? This is what would get you hired, because in this market, everyone is pretty good in SQL. Or the non-technical interviews are what's going to make you basically a good data analyst and a great data analyst. What makes the difference between a hire and like a no hire. So we're not going to go over that today, because this is again an intro workshop. It's not like a deep dive workshop, but essentially there are three type of question being asked in interview for data, and that's what I believe. They're like investigation round question. They like to ask these questions because in most companies you're gonna have to deal with numbers going down, stuff happening, and you need to understand why, and they need to the interviewer need to know if you're able to solve or answer this type of questions in real life. So they try to replicate the real life scenarios and see how you would behave and what are the steps you'd be taking to solve this. One of the most asked question is, let's say daily active users, which is here DAU or DAO, has dropped by X%, let's say by 20%. How would you investigate the issue? This is the type of question, if you're able to have the right framework, will get you places, because if you show the interviewer that you're able to break down the problem, like clarify the ask, break it down as well, and be able to come up with metrics and then solutions to it, etc. This will be great. You'll be able to nail this wrong. Myself, around 3-4 years ago, I didn't have a specific framework to solve this type of questions, and that was a problem, because I would just, depending on the question being asked, I would just go different places, but you need to be really structured in the way you answer. So this is the type of question being asked. You probably don't know how to answer it right now, and but I'm gonna go. I will have a workshop next week to go over each one of them in more details and explain you which framework we're gonna use, and also we can practice together, probably through like some simple mock interview to see how you would do it yourself. Next type of question are analysis round questions. So what is an analysis round question? So let's say there is this company, let's say Twitter, they launched this new feature, let's say jobs. They have this feature, right? What are the metric we should look at? So this is a question being asked a lot, and many people just go and just start like listing a lot of metrics, which is good, but then it's considered also as a red flag, because you're not able to first define the goal of this feature. What are we trying to solve with this feature? This will help you find the right metrics to pick. And are we going to share these goals with a specific team or whatsoever? So all of this is important for this analysis round. And you can go, you have so many ways to go with it. There's so many metrics you can come up with. All right, so these are the two types. I hope I didn't lose all of you, but these are the two. Honestly, if you're able to solve these questions very easily, I have no doubt that you're going to get the job in data. Because honestly, SQL, assuming that you're good in SQL, this is the only way to differentiate a decent data analyst and a great data analyst is like how they solve problems. And if you're able to really master the art of solving this type of questions, I have no doubt that you get like not only one but multiple offers. So from my side, like you can after getting this, I was able to get more than one offer even in this market. So it's not like impossible. The last type of question is launch or no launch. So launch or no launch means basically, should we launch this feature or not? And basically one type of question is like, okay, we want to increase the number of tweets created. You have to come up with ideas on how to do it. But before coming up with ideas, you need to come up with the metrics you want to track to find opportunities. In companies, most of the time they will ask you to see whether this makes sense, whether we should do this feature or not. And you need to maybe do some work upfront to understand if this is worth pursuing. one of the most efficient way in product growth or like data analytics is to understand the funnel. So what are the steps being taken by users to create a tweet at the first place? So if you're able to mention this and then come up with ideas for each step of the funnel, that'll be awesome. You come up with a great idea, and then you have to experiment the idea. How would you do that? How would you design the experiment or like the A/B test? What are the people that are going to be in the control group? What is a control group? What is a test group? Yeah, so this is also super important to know. Highly recommend to probably join my next workshop with it. We'll go more in details and depth around this, but these are like kind of the 3 things you need to know to master non-technical interview. And this is like, I've seen multiple platforms out there, and this is like kind of the part that's missing in most of the data analytics platform is having this non-technical question and helping people to solve them. Because as I said, again, I cannot emphasize it enough. This is what will get you your next job. Awesome. Cool. I think we're done with this. We're gonna go over some SQL question together live. So that you can see what technical screen looks like. And let's do it. Okay. All right. So this is a question being asked by LinkedIn. I consider that as an easy level question. In an interview, we'll have 3 to 4 questions, sometimes 5. The first question would be usually the easy one, and then as you go on next one and the next ones, it's going to be harder and harder. So for today, we're going to go over an easy question from LinkedIn, and then we're going to go a medium level question from Netflix. This will help you see what's like to have a real interview. So without further ado, I think probably excited about this. So let's go over the question. Write a SQL query to find the number of companies that have posted duplicate job listings. So what's a duplicate job listing? It's 2 jobs at the same company with the same title and description. So let's run the query and show you a little bit how it looks. All right, so we have job ID, which is the listing ID, basically. The company ID is the identifier of the company. The title they posted, so company 100 posted a job with the title, the job ID number 1 with the title software engineer and this description. Our goal is to find listings, find duplicate job listing, meaning that the same company posted the same title and description. Okay, so let's try to do this. So if we try to follow the step process I mentioned earlier, my first step would probably be count the number of jobs with the same title and description. And my second step would be to only account for companies with more than 1 duplicate listing. And then step number 3 would be to just count the number of companies that meet the criteria above. All right, so if we start small, by our first step, we want to count the number of jobs with the same title and description. So I would do title we have a specific job. So we want to do company title and description, and then count how many jobs have the same company title and description. Okay, so I'm going to just count star, and then I'm going to group by 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So I'm seeing here that like this company ID 1005 with this data analytics position only showed up once. And then I'm looking at this one and I found that this job from company ID 1006 showed up 3 times. Let's try to see that in the code. If we write down, select everything from job listing, where company ID equals 1006 and title equal, who's this one? I lost it. Marketing manager. Let's see what we get. Okay, so as you see here, we're able to find these 3 job listings that from the company ID 1006 and that shows up 3 times with the same description. Awesome. Cool. So job ID, they have different job IDs, of course, 16, 26, and 27, and they showed up twice. So let me go back to my initial query. We have this showing up 3 times, as we just proven, and then we have all these ones that are 1. So this one that are 1, it means that they only showed up 1, so they're not duplicate listings. So we only want to account for those that have more than 1. So for example, this one have 2, so on. So we're gonna do use something called having, which is basically the equivalent of where condition, but for aggregate values. Then we're going to go having count greater than 1. So there are 2 ways we can do it. We can do greater than 1 or greater or equal than 2, whatever is best for you. Let's do this one. So now, as you see, we have 3 rows with 3 company ID that are separate, different. Now we just want to count these company IDs. So what I would do is create a CTE, which is kind of equivalent of a subquery. I'm going to call it my duplicate jobs. And I'm going to have it here. So the great thing about this is like I can call it again. I just gave a name to this function or like this subquery, and then I can call it again here. And then also if I want to limit the result by 2, it's only going to show me the 2 results. So it's just calling back this table. So if we want to call this table, what we want to do with this table is to count the number of companies, right? So basically we count distinct company ID from duplicate job to find the number of companies that have posted duplicate jobs. Awesome. So when I run this, I found 3, which is probably true. And then when I submit, I guess we got the right result. So if you are subscribed to premium, you can have access to the solution, and the solution go very step by step and explain all the process. So really recommend to upgrade to premium if you want to have access. For those of you that do not have the budget or don't want to do it, you can still access and run the code without paying. It's free. But I recommend to use premium because you can actually practice and like see the solution and improve as you go. So, and then you can have also access to your like how many questions you have solved and your progress. So it can be very useful for you to upgrade. And the pricing is not higher. It's like $19 per month, so you can access this. So going back to this interview question, we were able to solve this SQL interview question from LinkedIn. It was easy level. So I'm curious in the Q&A, when we're gonna open the Q&A, how did you feel this interview question for LinkedIn? Was it easy for you? Was it hard? just maybe write in the comments right now if you have a chance, like, was it simple to understand or not? So next step is going over a SQL interview from Netflix. Awesome. Like Shimi mentioned, it's simple. Great to hear. So let's go over this one. I think this one would be a little bit more. Free version gets started is not working. Awesome. MC, yeah, you can mention. You feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn and let me know exactly what's not working. I can look into your issue. Okay, so top 3 most watched video. Let's go over it. So basically, there's a lot of text. We have a table called user video watch table. And by the way, for those of you that are here, Lakshmi and MC, if you're here, you can also try to solve this question while I'm going through it. So that would be cool as well. You can access it in this data4.io link and then go to top 3 most watched video on the search bar, and then you'll find this question. Awesome. Let's go to this table. So we're going to use only one table. The level is medium. So it's not very simple, but let's see what we have. So basically, we have 3 fields here. User ID, which is the identifier of the user that watched the video ID V01 and the time they've watched it. So imagine I'm user ID 1. It means that I watch this video ID V001 at on the August 1st at 10:15 a.m. Etc. User ID 2 watch this video at that time. So what we're trying to do is to identify the top 3 videos that most users have watched as their first 3 videos. So this is important to clarify. So we want to identify the top 3 most watched videos, right? As the top 3, as the first 3 videos of each user. Okay, so how do make sense of it? It means that, like, imagine there are 3 videos that has been watched by one user. So user ID 1, their top 3 videos were, like, the first 3 videos were 1, 3, 4. User ID 2 was like 3, 2, 1, 3, 5, 1, 6. And we basically want to see what are the most video ID that has been most watched as the first 3 of each user. So that, for example, here, if we take this example, we have user ID 1, like video ID 1, that showed up like 3 times, right? And then video ID 2, it seems that's 1, 3. Video ID 3 is showing up twice. Video ID number 3 is showing up twice, 2 times, etc. And we want to do the ranking of the video that has been the most watched as the first top 3. Awesome. So the first step of the process is, like, get the first 3 video for each user. And then my step number 2 would be to find basically the videos that were most watched as the first 3, most watched from step 1, right? And then step 3, you only want to show the first 3, and if there is a tie, all videos in the top 3 will be included. So rank on like, find the top 3 including ties. Okay, so meaning that, like, what my understanding is is like if a video ID, if we have a ranking or like video ID and times watched. If we have video ID 1, 2, 4, like that's by the number of times it's been watched. And it's been watched 30 times in the first 3, this one 20, this one 19. And we have another video 6 that has been also watched 19 times. And then 7, let's say watch 18 times. So if that's our top 3, will also include the video ID number 6, since it's also a tie with the rank 3. Okay, so that's how I would include the ties. Awesome. So first step of the process, find the first 3 video for each user. Okay, so we're gonna use a user ID and the watch time. Okay, what we'll do with the watch time is we can use roll number, it could be 1. For this specific example, we can assume that we cannot watch a video at the same time. So we can use roll number and then do over. You can do roll number and then you have to partition it by the user ID and you want to order it by the time they have watched it. Okay, so let's see how this query looks like. I'm going to just order by 1 to see how the result looks like. So this user ID 1 have watched this video at 9:15 a.m. and then the second one 10:15, 10:30. So that's great. And we have the first 3 videos they've watched. Once we change users, as you see here, the ranking keep increasing. The roll number keep an incremental of 1. The moment we change user ID, that resets to 1. And this is the whole purpose of the partition, because it's basically telling me for each user ID, tell me the ranking they have based on the time they've watched the video, ordered by the time watch in ascending order. So the earliest video will go first. If I do descendant, it's going to show me the latest video first. Awesome. So that's cool. That'll be my top 3. Actually, not yet. We need to add another condition here. So we can do select from this table, and then we can just include, I'm going to call this rank, and I'm going to just include where rank is less or equal than 3. Okay, I'm going to show you how it looks now before we dive to the next step. Okay, usually it asks for an alias. Let's do that. Okay, so user ID 1 has the first 3 videos here. User ID 2, the first 3, user ID 3, etc. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, great. Awesome. So we have the first 3. So I'm going to call this, what about I call this subquery? Sorry, oops. I'm going to call it my top 3, my first 3 videos, right? Okay, let's see. So if I call back this function again, and I'm gonna show you that it's working. I'm gonna limit the result by 3 just to show you that I can run this code. So here it's showing me the first 3. Okay, so it's working. I'm gonna run it again. So we did user ID, watch chat, and your rank. The thing that we've been missing is the video ID. So we need to add video ID here to be able to find out which video ID was watched first, or the first 3 of each user. And basically what we want to do here now is to count the number of times they occurred. So we just do video ID and count star to see how much time they've been watched. So this is my step number 2. Okay, so I'm gonna count first, like this is the number of watch videos, and then I group by 1. Okay, I'm gonna improve the little bit the syntax to make it easier. Awesome. Okay, cool. So that's one. I'm gonna order it by two descendant order, basically to have the most watched video first to show up. And this is what we have. So video ID has been watched 7 times. I've been part of the top first 3 7 times. This one 6 times, 5 times, and 5 times. So as you see, there is a tie here. So we need to account for this tie. The way to do it is to use something called dense rank. Dense rank is again a function, ranking function to be able to rank this based on the number of watch time. So we're gonna do over an order by count star in descending order, and I'm gonna call it rank. Okay, so as you see here, as this one has been the top one, it's gonna have rank 1. This one is second one, V53 is 5, but since there is also V3 having 5, it's not gonna do anything. It is gonna be considered as the same rank. So that's cool. So I can just add a condition and have less than 3, right? To account only for our top 3. So I'm gonna create another CT. I'm gonna call it my top watch videos, and I'm gonna just use this. Again, if I try to call it again here, from here, it's gonna show up again, okay? So now our output just requires the video ID and the watch count. So video ID would show up here, the number of watch videos here, okay? And then I would just run that. Let's run this. So awesome. We have the number of watch videos here, but we want to add a condition to make sure the rank is less than 3. So we only want the one that has the most views, right? And then there you go. We have the video ID, the number of watch videos, and the ones here. So we can just submit the code. Awesome. Great job. So again, you can access the solution. It's go over step by step to help you solve it. So you can do that as well. I use CT to make my code easier. So I was just curious on the chat if you could just tell me, how did you find this question? Was it easy, simple, too easy? Okay, it's really easy, but unfortunately I'm on my way. Okay, cool, awesome. I'm happy that you find this easy. It means that like you have the required skills to solve it. There are some difficult questions here as well. So if you like challenges and everything, I would like to you to take a look at these questions. I specifically like there's one that's this one, the 10 consecutive login days. Definitely recommend for those that really enjoy solving problems. This one is hard. It's a question asked by TikTok, very hard level, so recommend to take a look if you have not. If you find that the first 2 questions were too difficult, perhaps don't go deeper. Would recommend to just start easy first, and then as you improve, go medium, etc. And then you can cover all the topic you want here. There is something exciting I wanted to share with you, which is the the virtual interview question. We're going to add more of these, but basically it's like you enter a game, or like you enter an interview, a virtual interview, where you're being asked question and you can also access the solution. Basically, let's show how it looks. You go over each question, and then you can just finish it, and then at the end, when it should take you like 30 40 45 minutes, it tells you like sorry, there was a small issue with the time spent, but it tells you like your result, what was your score, and then give you like if you're incorrect, kind of give you the solution with the step by step. So recommend this as well for those of you that are starting. Yeah, so awesome. I think we went through a lot. So I'm gonna put my slide here for people that want to connect with me on LinkedIn. Feel free to do so. We also have the data for the page. We have almost 3,000 followers on this page, so we'd really appreciate if you follow us, give us some likes and engagement on our post. And wanted to just finish with this before handing to the Q&A. I'm having another workshop next week. It's like only 2 spots left. It's a 3-hour workshop. So if you're interested, just let me know. I'm more than happy to share with you the details. So we have it's at $39 for 3 hours, so it's pretty good. And we're gonna go over like deeper SQL and also like non-technical question, which is probably something many people are lacking right now. Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, I think we can go over the Q&A.
All right. We don't actually have any questions right now, but if you do have any questions, please drop them either in the webinar chat or the Q&A section, and we will answer them. Um, Otherwise, we can conclude early. I've dropped Amni's LinkedIn in the comment section, as well as the link to join Dataford. Omni, did you want to go over the offer again and maybe share the discount code that you have for all Albert's List members who are joining us today?
Yeah, sure. I was just checking if there was any questions first. But essentially, if you try to sign up to Dataford, you can access, thanks to Albert's deal, we have I think a 30% or 40% discount on our you can just use Albert 40. I'm gonna write it in the chat. Albert 40, and you have 40% off on yearly subscription. So yearly subscription are usually $89. So with the discount, it's gonna be 53 for 1 year of access to Dataford, which is almost like pretty
It's
convenient.
$1 a week for data
$4 a week.
analyst.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. So, yeah, everyone, please sign up below. Oh, looks like we do have a couple of questions that we can conclude with. Are there any resources you would recommend for building a data analyst portfolio?
Yeah, I think I mentioned that like a little bit during the call. Is I would recommend to go to kaggle.com. Let me go over it right now. They have like a bunch of data sets. If you have something specific that you like, let's say you like avocados, you can go to avocado prices and then just check. They have like huge data sets. You can upload it and then build your own project and analysis. I recommend doing this way because it's more fun, and you can pick the project you want to do.
Wonderful. Next question. Can we use Dataford to practice SQL and create projects for our portfolio?
Yes. So Dataford will help you to improve your SQL skills, and you can practice over 100 plus SQL interview questions from companies like Google, Facebook, and so on. So recommend to brush up your improve your skills in SQL first, and then tackle a project in Kaggle.com.
Cool. Wonderful. All right. Oh, what departments in a company do data analysts collaborate the most with?
Yeah, great question, Jessica. Mm, that depends on the role, because there are multiple type of data analysts. There is business analyst, business intelligence analyst, or product analyst. I would say for the most part, for product, you're gonna deal with a lot of product managers, because they are the one that come up with the ideas to build features. So you need to confirm, or like, if the idea they have will have an impact on the product. So definitely product manager is one. If you're more in the business analyst roles, I think you're gonna work with different type of stakeholders. Could be operations team, someone um, in the specific department you work with, but that will not be necessarily product managers.
Great. Great. All right. Any additional questions from the community here today? All right, you have Omni's link above for data forward and the coupon code for Albert 40. Let me go ahead and type that out here. And you have the ability to connect with him on LinkedIn if you have any additional questions. We'll conclude here. Thank you all so much again for your time today. We appreciate you spending time on your Saturday to join us for this special webinar. We'll be following up soon with a recording and the discount codes, as well as the contact info. And we hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Thank you so much, and see you soon. Bye-bye.